everybody? Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. Hope you all are doing well. A little bit of a different filming location here within the movie room. I've done some changes to the movie room. I'm excited to show that off, hopefully in the near future, with a movie room tour. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to revive, once again, a series that has been dormant on the channel, and that is my Letterboxd recap. What I watched in April of 2023. So we're going to run through the 5 movies that I watched in April. Not a lot, only 5. So it's going to be a rather short Letterboxd recap. But I did enjoy several of these movies quite a bit. And, you know, despite the fact that I was busy, quite busy, I enjoyed getting those 5 in. And hopefully this month I will get more. I think I'm already up to 4, maybe even 5 already for the month of May. So this is promising, but you know how life gets sometimes. So what I want to start with here, and this is actually, besides the fact of me being busy, this is actually the reason why I only watched 5 movies this month, because this is not really a movie, but I'm going to count it as a movie. This is Twin Peaks: The Return, a limited event series from 2017, of course directed by David Lynch. This is an 18-part mini-series that aired, of course, on Showtime. And I am a huge David Lynch fan, and I've had this in my collection for several months maybe. Finally got down to watch it, and this is one of the greatest things I have ever seen. That is not hyperbole. This is such an incredible work of art. It is, I consider it a movie, an 18-part movie, 18 hours. It's crazy. I mean, to me, it's not really either a movie or a series. It's this kind of transcendent art form. I've never seen anything like it. With both the content of the series as well as just the way it goes about telling this story over this 18-part journey. David Lynch directed every single episode of this, and I believe he co-wrote every single episode with Mark Frost, the original co-writer of Twin Peaks, the original series as well, which is probably my favorite TV series of all time, despite the fact that season 2 kind of meanders a little bit. It does kind of lose the charm of the original Twin Peaks a little bit. You get a little bit of that charm and the kind of the funniness of it, the humor, but this is dark. It gets really dark at some points. Episode 8, I believe it is, where we have, of course, the nuclear bomb reference. I'm not going to spoil anything else, but that is one of the greatest hours of television I've ever seen, and it blows my mind that David Lynch was allowed to make this and air it on Showtime. It is fantastic, and another fantastic entry from my favorite director of all time. I really enjoyed this. If you have a chance to pick up the Blu-ray, it's got some really awesome packaging. Again, never seen packaging like this either. If you have a chance to pick up the Blu-ray, it's definitely well worth it. And definitely, if you haven't seen this, stop being an idiot like I was and go watch this immediately. It is 18 hours that you will never forget, that's for sure. Next title that I watched in April was actually my first trip to the movie theater, and that was Renfield, starring Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. And if you want my in-depth thoughts on this movie, I did make a movie review for this. It's one of the more recent videos on my channel, so definitely go check that out. I'm really not going to say much here for the sake of time. I'm just going to say that I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but I liked it. And I do probably plan to rewatch it eventually. But it wasn't my favorite thing in the world. I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5, something along those lines. Next movie that I watched, I dipped into the Criterion Collection a little bit, some of my backlog titles, and I watched The Piano Teacher, directed by Michael Haneke, I think is how you say his name. This is my first movie that I've seen of his, and I expected this to be messed up. I didn't quite expect the way that it was messed up. Haneke is pretty well known and infamous for having some pretty fucked up stuff go down in his movies. And it does in this movie. Again, it just kind of caught me off guard, which was interesting in a very interesting way. And the ending of this movie is fantastic. It is just a thought-provoking, really, really good ending that I really enjoyed. It's hard to say you enjoy this movie because it's so dark and depressing, kind of, with the subject matter. But this is a very good movie that I think everybody should watch at least once if you like kind of messed up, disturbing content in your movies on occasion. So The Piano Teacher, finally watched this, can cross that off the Criterion backlog. Next title, Polar Opposite Shift. Once again, I watched Pineapple Express from Seth Rogen. And of course, 420 happens in April, so had to watch a stoner comedy towards the end of the month. And this is just a classic. I mean, mid-2000s comedy. You know, you can't go wrong with Seth Rogen and James Franco. And it's a hilarious movie. It's a classic movie. There's not really more I need to say. This was a really fun watch. And then finally, to wrap up the month of April, was my second and final trip to the movie theater of the month, and that was to see Beau is Afraid, directed by Ari Aster. Once again, not going to go into specific detail about my thoughts on the movie because I have a movie review on the channel. It is literally my most recent video, so definitely go check that out when you have a chance. I did really like Beau is Afraid. It was not as good as the other two Ari Aster films, in my opinion. But it was a very unique, wild ride for 3 hours, and it was anchored by a really great performance from Joaquin Phoenix. So it's definitely a movie that I recommend you watch at least once. If it's your thing, you're gonna love it. If it's not your thing, you're not really gonna like it. But you know, it's a really unique, interesting work of art, I think, and that kind of sets it apart from other films. I really want to rewatch it, but unfortunately it made no money at the box office, and it literally had the shortest theater run that I can ever remember. Usually I think it is that studios require movie theaters to show their movies for 2 weeks. This movie, it came to my local theater a week late, and then it just disappeared after 1 week, and that was disappointing because I really did want to see it again, but I'll have to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray, I guess, or 4K. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So that's going to wrap up this very short edition of the Letterboxd recap for April of 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what you guys watched this past month, or just some recent movies that you've been watching now that we are into well into May 2023. The end of the school year is rapidly approaching, which means more content is probably on your way very soon. I tend to, when I have vacation time, of course, I tend to spend a lot more time on the channel and doing more things. So I'm looking forward to an eventful summer, hopefully. Do hope to do a movie room tour in the next month or so definitely stay on the lookout for that, because my movie room has changed a lot and I didn't get a video in last year. So it's definitely a pretty big upgrade from the 2021 edition. I'm definitely looking forward to sharing that and all that. And of course, all the new movies that'll be coming out in the summer. It should be a really loaded, packed summer for movies. You got lots of art house stuff, but then you've also got like Barbie with Margot Robbie. What world would I be excited for a Barbie movie? This world. It's pretty nuts. Oppenheimer from Christopher Nolan should be great. Mission Impossible should be great. So it's going to be a really fun summer, I think, at the movies. So definitely stay tuned if you're excited for any of that stuff. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you stay up to date on my videos. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and the weekend coming up. I hope it's fantastic. I will talk to you later.